Oh,
Oh,
Tim the Toolman Taylor.
yeah, I
Home-
love this stuff.
Yeah, Home Improvement, I think the show is called. That's the one where the guy's looking over the fence all the time.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Jesse. He's out there.
That's Jesse. But he's quiet. Okay,
Quiet.
I guess we're alive.
Oh, it looks like we are. Hang on, I got to stop this other thing, or otherwise it'll start talking to us. We are live, yes. Okay, welcome to Hopeifiers, the show where we have some audacious optimism, the show where we have some interesting conversations. We hope that someday you will feel you want to give us a call and chat with us. But today, so if you feel it today, we've posted the phone number, give us a call. Brother Daniel, good to see your smiling face, my friend.
Yeah, good to be seen.
Aha, exactly.
Yes.
I did. We're kind of on the third session of a discussion about pleasure, and tonight, with your approval, of course, sir, we're talking about pleasure as a portal to presence, to being in this present moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so, do you want me to tell you my theory first, or you
go for it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching an Eckhart Tolle, and I think he's a pretty smart fella. And he says, basically, we have this human experience kind of from three different venues. The thoughts we have, the feelings we have, which, of course, the feelings are often driven by the thoughts, and then our sensations or experiences. And so whether you call it experiences or you call it sensations, we feel those things, the experiences we have are through our senses, through what we hear and smell and touch and all the senses. There's 5 of them, right? So anyways, so the thought is this: to get to this present moment, sometimes people, when they're feel that their thoughts keep recurring and they can't shut their thoughts off, and then they can't get to this present moment. And this present moment, I mean, if you're not hungry or you don't have to go to the bathroom and you're not tired, this present moment is a beautiful place, right? You're not sick and in pain. This is a beautiful place to be. So how do you get here if your thoughts are sort of being a distraction for you getting to this present moment? Mm-hmm. So my theory is this, and my practice is this. If we get time and there's interest, I'll share kind of the way I work through this. But here's my thought. Mm-hmm. You use your body to create a lot of pleasure that your mind appreciates, your mind enjoys, that we're reconnecting body and mind. And then when you reconnect your body to your mind has all kinds of controls over what it can do for you and influence your health, right? So then your mind, pleased by this offering of pleasure that you provided, produces this amazing substance. It's called photon-infused light honey. Photon-infused light honey. So it's pronounced pill, but it's spelled differently than pill. And then in that, that is a healing balm, a healing agent that solves everything within your body, which makes you have the best health possible. Return to the best health you've ever had. It's amazing stuff.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. So if I heard you saying so far from your research, you actually you discovered that being present in your body is a source of pleasure, is a gateway to pleasure.
Yes, exactly.
So the opposite is disconnected from your body is pain.
Yeah, exactly.
Because to the Epicurean, who is again the Epicurean doctrine of pleasure is it also says that you need to maximize pleasure by like giving way to the taste and to the 5 senses of your body, and touch, hearing, tasting, and all those stuff is important. But the Epicurean also understand that the antithesis to pleasure was pain.
Mm-hmm.
And differently, in that the sense of it, there's pleasure and there's pain. So you ought to choose one or the other. You cannot, you cannot live your life obviously in pain. So everybody want to live in pleasure. So life, the act of living, is pursuing pleasure. While later on, you're going to have some philosophers who said it's the opposite. Actually, it's in pain. There is some pleasure and there's meaning. But at the end, and other people will say that pleasure is really not determinant of good life. It is fulfillment. It is like last week we talked about being able to be at the top of your need, Maslow's table of need, which is where you are actualized, personal actualization. I think there's some good conversation about it. But what you just shared has to do with the fact that we tend to live our lives so much in the past or in the future. When you live your life with the past or the rear view mirror, or in the past, what you were living in memory, you're trying to just dig out more memory material and to bring it to the surface. And by doing that, you think and engage in memory that you're going to have meaning and pleasure for your life. And so there are a vast amount of people are living their lives like that. They're trying to sniff out the pleasure in memory in the past. So they'll go and seek. It's like the past is like a forest. They want to seek that golden moment where they have had an experience, or they met somebody, or they did something that really brought them joy and pleasure. And at the same time, we have others who are living their lives like it's focused on the future. There's always tomorrow. There's always when they're turning 65, that magical number. There's always a point where I'm going to actually be fulfilled. So they're living in imagination, which is important. And we access the future through imagination, and where we are imagining and thinking about things being different. And I do understand that. So there are some who just live in imagination in the future, and trying to always project a better future to come. But the problem with this, if you live in either or of the extreme, you miss the middle point, because joy and true pleasure and true actualization always take shape and place in the present tense.
Mm-hmm.
We have this moment. There's a hymn that said, we have this moment to hold and to touch as it slipped through our fingers like sand. Yesterday is gone, but tomorrow may never come. All we have is this moment today. Mm-hmm. And that the act of living and living a meaningful life is engaging today, engaging this very moment, and engaging in the reality that today is, and to not escape from this moment. As there are lots of people who meditate, they think they are through transcendental meditation, they will escape this body which represents pain, this material world, this world of sense. And they say, if I can escape it and hide somewhere in nirvana, somewhere in a different place, I will find pleasure. They escape from their reality. Suddenly they realize there is no meaning, there's no joy in it. And you can, and I think if you do lots of research, you'll find that many people are trying to escape from their bodies.
And when they do that, Daniel, how many people use drugs or alcohol to try and escape from their bodies and this moment, right?
Indeed, that's so true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if we can make this present moment a more pleasant moment, a more pleasurable moment, a place where you want to linger, a place where you want to stay, I think that's a beautiful thing. And I don't think this is I think this is somatic theory is what I think this is, that I'm expressing it my way, but it's really somatic theater. It's Peter Levine who discovered this in the 1960s.
But again, it depends if you believe pleasure is a behavior.
If you pleasure is a behavior, pleasure is a
It-
sensation.
So it depends if you think it's a behavior, or because for many people, even thinking is a behavior, right? Again, you're talking about semantic, and that's important in it. So if you are escaping your body, you're saying this world of sense is not mine. In fact, I'm trapped there. It's a prison. So this presence, this moment of consciousness, if you say, I need to disengage from it to find meaning, then that's what you will resort into escapism, just escaping from this reality. But what you were saying earlier is that joy and meaning is found right there in this moment. It is not in escaping, it's in actualizing selfhood. It's becoming and tuning in to the reality of your life now. I am here in this place. I'm sitting in a beautiful house. I'm sitting I'm breathing and becoming cognizant of what is around you. There is no external reality that you can touch. This is a phone, I can touch, I can hold my hands, I can think. That's my external reality. And I can also tune into my internal reality. I am a thinking self. I'm a feeling self. I am a knowing other. I am a knowing self. So that there is something, there are internal dynamics that are interplaying within me. I am, in many sense, when I am here, when I'm present as I'm designed to be, my body is a pleasure-producing machine.
Whew, that was said very nicely, Brother Daniel. Oh, my goodness. All right. Nicely done. Okay. One little tidbit to add. Gabor Mate says that trauma is always a disconnection from self. And so the disconnection from self, I think, is disconnection from your body and your mind, right? Your mind, or for whatever reason, things that have occurred, believes your body somehow to not be worthy. It's shameful. It's, it's insufficient. There's something wrong with it, that kind of a thing. Also, when you were talking about people using their imagination to think about the future, I agree that a lot of people do that. And worse is that people use their imagination or you think about the future and it's all worry. It's all what's going to go wrong. It's all what's going to happen that's going to be make them unsafe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's that's where you begin looking at what become pathological, right? So, for example, disassociation from reality can become pathological. You have, and obviously, again, trauma is more than just a disconnection. It's many things, but many symptoms. But again, if we are living our lives so disassociated from the reality that there is, we are missing something. And it is saying that there is something that is out of order for many, especially if it's becoming something that is hindering how you show up, how you do, who you be, and if it is hijacking your life. And so that's important. So many people, they cannot live in this present moment. They ought to always disassociate from it. And it can become pathological. It can become a disorder. It can become something they actually need help to ground themselves. And I think the more and more you're hearing a lot about grounding, becoming real and living in this very moment. And that there is something redemptive about that. And something generative, something that gives life, something regenerative, something that is creative. Because when we are there, we are like, imagine the world or life as a garden, and you are a tree that is planted there, and with your roots being so deeply anchored right there, and you are
like a tree,
deep, that planted by the water. So there is, right? And that's really what it is. And there's water deep within. where you're grounded. And there is stream of living water that deep within. And in the air, in the sun, in all that there is, you know, when you don't complain, you live in between the reality from below, you know, the ground, and the reality from above. And in between them, there's you, and you occupying this space. And there is something it is a harmony that manifests when we tune in.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a disharmony that happens when we tune out. And here it is, when you tune out from the world, you make the world a dangerous place.
Mm-hmm. Huh? Mm-hmm. Everybody's a suspect. You have reason for worry that you're going to get hurt, or it's going to somehow be a bad situation with other people, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
You disabuse of yourself when you're out of it, you disassociate, you disengage, and it is unhealthy. It is not something that will honor the principle of hope, helpfulness, happiness, health, as we talk about. So there is an imperative, and that is you got to be present. You got to respond to the act of life. Otherwise, you are a soldier that had deserted your comrade.
Mm-hmm.
And more of us need to become present, not escaping. You know, there will be a time when we all die and we all go to glory. This is not that time. This is a time where we live gloriously, radiating the essence that lives in us and letting that essence heal and cure the world. What do you think about all this bavardage?
Of all the what?
This bavardage.
Bavardage.
This is a French. I mean, yeah, bavardage. I'm just talking. What are you thinking about all my yapping?
Okay, so the bavardage means like what you just presented, what you just said.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Brother, I'm loving it. You're preaching to the choir. Okay, can I think it might be appropriate because like you're trained. Yeah. You're a trained counselor. I want to tell you my practice that I do to encourage this.
Okay.
And then you can caution me if you think I'm out there too far. All right, brother?
Okay, go for it.
All right, here it is. So the principle is this. You want to generate as much pleasure as you can utilizing all your senses, okay? You're basically offering a gift of pleasure to your mind, and your mind is going to reward you. Your mind is going to use the prefrontal cortex of your brain and produce this amazing, amazing property. And this property is incredible. So it's this photon-infused light honey pill. So this what it does is inside your body expresses as light. It lights you up within your whole body, and every cell that light comes in contact with, it knows what that cell's need. It connects with that cell. It fixes it. If it needs to be lengthened, it lengthens. If it needs to be shortened, it shortens. If there's a joint in your body that needs to have inflammation reduced, it does that. If there's a bone that needs to be healed, it does that. Everything that you need, it does. It fixes everything within you. And what happens is as you provide these pleasurable experiences for your mind, and your neocortex is producing this photon infused thin honey, then light honey, then as it's doing that, then once the light has filled you up, then this comes out the top of your head. It just kind of oozes out the top of your head. And then you can take it and you can smooth it and you can touch it and rub it in where it needs to heal. And so this is the outside in approach, that this life-giving property heals and cures everything. And you put it all over your body. So basically you can start by just envisioning you standing in front of you. You don't have to be naked, but I say naked, the best body you've ever had. That's what I say. Think of naked and the best body you ever have. And now take this wonderful substance and just kind of soothe it and smooth it all over your body. So you're starting at the back of your head, over the back of your head, tilt your ear a little bit, get a little in your ear, get a little in the other ear. Everywhere it touches, it heals and soothes and makes better everything. A little bit of a massage it into your shoulders, massage it into your biceps, down your arm. Give some traction on your fingers and coat it with this substance and let it go, have its healing from the outside in. And then basically you just go through your whole body and you apply it. So you apply it all down your back, all down your legs, all down the center of your back, all down your, you know, put a little bit in your butt cheek. You need a little bit that there too. So give that a little wipe with there. And then down the other side of your back as well. Soothe that all. If you find a part that has some pain, you give it a little bit more attention. Maybe your knees are sore. Give a little bit more rub, a little more touch on your knees. Make it so it's healing. Then on the front of your body as well, you go through and do this. And as you do this, your neocortex is just churning out more and more of this life-affirming, life-giving property. And then in the end, your body feels way better. Your body feels fantastic. And your mind feels fantastic that your body feels fantastic. That's the exercise. Did I lose you, Daniel? All right. Well, I don't know what that means if Daniel has gone from the show. All right. Anyways, the thought process is here that you just take your, oh, there he's back. Hey, how are you?
Well, can you hear me?
Now I can. Yeah, exactly.
I heard you until you went offline and backline, but that's what it's all about. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Yes, sir.
Because you are frozen in time, but it's like that when you're online or you're offline. You see, and in many ways that's what we in the connection, the internet connection just demonstrated that. You're online, you can show up. When you're offline, you disappear, right?
Yes. Yes.
So,
yeah, I
so
see what you're
here's
saying.
the thing. There's a good old song that says, if you're happy and you know it, do what? Clap your hand.
Yes, sir.
See?
Yeah.
There is something so important about creating that. I said something, a sentence, a short one. You are a pleasure creating machine. And here it is. It's your biology. It's not something that you need to import. It's something that is
Bad internet connection. Oh my goodness. Oh well. He's going to be coming back. While he's coming back, I'm singing a song. Why not, right?
Go for it.
Oh, you're back. There you are.
What do you sing? You sing.
All right. Well, you know what? You got me thinking about By the Water, where you said about a tree planted by the water. This is by Mavis Staples.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Fighting for our children, we shall not be moved. Fighting for our children, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we shall not be moved. Standing for our sisters, we shall not be moved. Standing for our sisters, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we shall not be moved. Working with our brothers, we shall not be moved. Working with our brothers, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we shall not be moved. Black and white together, we shall not be moved. Black and white together, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Yellow and red together, we shall not be moved. Yellow and red together, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we shall not be moved. Fighting for our children, we shall not be moved.
You are frozen. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. I can hear you. I can't see you. But here's the sense. So the song is like, it's like you're going through all the stands. And that's one of the things that I love about these gospel songs. It takes one concept and it puts it in many life situations. One idea, I shall not be moved. Like, because many of us are being moved by too many emotions. Many of us are being moved by many troubles in the world. Many of us are being moved the wrong way. But a tree moves the right way. And here's is when the wind comes, the wind moves with, the tree moves with the wind. And again, and again, and again. But there's something, the right movement, and then there's wrong movement. So when you talk about pleasure as an ideal, it is something that is rooted in the great soil, the true soil of our authentic self. Because from there is life. The nutrient comes, you see, the wind comes, but the birds on the sky, they will come. The birds of the air will come and they will nest on you. That's the sense of it. When we are there, we have become. We've actually been. But many of us are absent to the event of our own lives. We are like driving in a car and you are sitting in the passenger seat of your own life, you see. And so there is a principle and there is a point, and there is something to be made from your earlier session when you began talking about how important it is to show up to the reality that we are. I am who I am. I do not dispute my selfhood. I do not dislike my selfhood, nor do I dislike someone else's selfhood. And when we focus on that, we bring the added value that being present in this world is meant to do. And I think every one of us today can do it. And some of us need a little help. And that help can come through an inspiration or an encouragement, an encouraging words. We call it little prophetic words. So anything that really can add value and bless you. And that is to say, brother, you have done a great job. And to always seek to find the good in people, not the bad in them. Because our brain have been trained. There's something, an accountant is supposed to see what you don't have so that you can actually fix it, right? And that's important. There is something very important about that. But what I'm trying to say, part of us need to be like the accountant. I want to see, what is it that I can better? Like maybe I've been very absent. And that when I come at it with an accountant mind and I make an account of my life, I say, you know what? I've been trying to escape reality. I have not been present. We have not been in our relationship. Your friendship, we have aborted our friendship. We live in a city called Lethbridge, but we're really not engaged.
Did I lose you again? I got the last part there, Daniel, and then you went blank there a little bit. But I think your point was about, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think your point, if I'm following along correctly, is the importance of being true to yourself, who you are, express to the world who you are. You're going to find people that like you just the way you are. You don't have to change a damn thing. Just the way you are is perfect. And it works that way. There's other people that aren't going to like you and they're going to call you bad names, but that's okay. Let them, right?
Yeah. And tune into life. Be present and be engaged in your city. Do not be absent in your family, in your marriage, in your parenting. Be present. Show up. And when we do, we make this world a better place.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Nicely said, Brother Daniel.
Well, but you did a great job. And I just want to say again, thank you to you and Jesse for making this happen again.
No problem.
Even though you have been off, it has been a fun conversation. So let's continue this.
Let's do it next week. You know what? Next week on Lion's Den, you're having that conversation about people being exposed to indigenous communities and learning from that process. Do you want to reserve that for Lion's Den, or do you want to chat about that on this show? I have an insight.
I heard part of what you said, but whatever it is, we can talk about anything.
Okay. Sounds good, my friend. Keep yourself well.